What's going on, y'all? How y'all feeling? How's everybody? How's my peoples? How's my peoples? What's going on? Hold on, let me get set up right. Yeah, even though my Birds lost last night, my drums will always be loyal. Power Monday, baby. Yeah, but don't waste my time. Thanksgiving week. So this is like Thanksgiving Eve. T carry right, morning, noon, and night. And it looks like my man crashed. Thanks for coming through, y'all. Y'all know how we do it too. Power Monday. Yo, Urban Therapy with Sun 752 with this your daily. It's the daily go get up some show. You think it ain't when it is? You think it won't when it is? We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, taking all fast lane, no coasting, and everything is gonna be all right. We talking about it added up to a waste of time and maybe some money tonight. Tonight, I'm going to talk to the ladies. Fellas, you cool, but ladies, if you got a good man, make sure that was Catching Hell by Natalie Cole. Shout out to the late, great queen, Natalie Cole. All right. So tonight, we're going to talk about what we consider to be a waste of time. And I want to tell y'all what inspired me to think of this show, this topic. You know, when you're younger, think about it. When you're younger, you might consider a whole lot of things to be a waste of time. Anything that disappoints you, you might have been quick to be like, you know what, that was a waste of time. You know what I mean? You took a girl on a date, or y'all was dating for a while, going with each other and all of that kind of stuff. You bought her stuff, you did things with her, you put your heart and your soul into it, and she broke up with you or started dating somebody else or messed around on you. And you're like, yo, I can't believe I wasted my money, my time. I put my heart into it. And, you know, we might have looked at it like a real bad waste of time. As we got a little older, we might have started looking things at like through a set of different lenses. Like, it's more just an experience. It's not necessarily a waste of time, because when we're younger, we're not looking to learn no lessons. We're looking for direct satisfaction, a payoff. We're looking for reciprocation. We're looking for somebody to we're looking for somebody to deliver on what they say that they're going to do. You know what I mean? And anything short of that, you know, we might feel some kind of way about it. Now, that's not to say that all of us had the same kind of expectations when we were younger, because how can I say that with any certainty? I can't. But what I do know is that when I was younger, I used to hear a lot of women talk about how, you know, if you date somebody for mad years, and y'all ain't getting married, he ain't put a rock on it and all that, you know, wasted my life. I wasted my good years. When was the last time some of y'all, one of y'all, any of y'all said, if I wasn't wasting my time doing this at that time, I don't know where my life would have been, but I would have been real shine. I would have been at the top because I had it going on. And anybody who came around me, I had to warn. Don't try to get in my way because I don't play. So if you're not trying to build on this, try another day, because this really one don't work. I got to do things that I got to do, even if it hurt. And for certain, I'm doing what I got to do and got to make sure it's working. When was the last time you said that? Because I used to hear a lot of people say, you know, if I wasn't doing this during this time, I probably would have been a millionaire by now. I probably would have had a big house on the hill with the oval driveway, mad toys in the driveway, SUVs, foreign sports cars, coupes, high-end sedans. How can we know? How can we know how our lives would have turned out if we would have made this decision or that decision, or went this way or instead of that way, or listened to this one instead of that one? How can we know? We can't. But we used to speculate all the time. And when I say we, I mean like us. And when I say us, I mean like maybe not you individually, but I'm sure that you were in earshot of somebody saying that, because that's just how it went down. Now, the other thing, speaking of wasting time, like a lot of women consider messing around with a man who doesn't love them or doesn't do for them or doesn't at least show genuine interest in companionship with them. They consider that to be a waste of time. Not all women, but a lot of women. With men, Especially, and I'm speaking from the standpoint of when we're younger. When we're younger, because with women, they worry about them baby making ages. Because they're, you know how it is now. Women get up in the upper 30s, they ready to act like they in retirement. They want to go on trips. You know what I mean? With the internet, they seeing their kids. I mean, they seeing their friends go to Aruba. They going down Costa Rica. They going to Mexico. They going out to the Bahamas, Bermuda, Jamaica. They going overseas. You know what I mean? They jumping on planes, trains, boats and shit. And they want to do that. So they kind of want to get the kids out of the way at a young age, or they want to live their lives to the fullest before they start locking it down with the big belly, the swollen feet. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? The pickles and the ice cream. So messing around with a dude that's throwing a bunch of babies up in their belly and not wifing them might look like might really feel like a waste of time to them. Now, on the strength of the brothers, when they're younger, they might be looking at their biggest waste of time. And I hate to say this. Prison. Jail. 4MC assault. You was jealous, it's all your fault. Milk is killing. Giz is killing. What more can I say? Top billing. That's what we got. Got it good. And if you understood, could you do your dance? Dance to two. If you can dance, it's easy to. Prison. Fuck around trying to get money on the streets, or mess around defending somebody when you're really offending somebody. Catch a body, a bad case with a bad lawyer will end you up in jail double-digit years. And it's hard not to look at that time as a waste of time. Now, a lot of brothers, after they've done a real long bid, 10 years, 15, 20 years, they came home with a new perspective. Maybe genuinely ready to live their lives. Because you might have went in when you was mad young, dog. Like soon as you got your 18th birthday, you might have got knocked. So you coming home at 38 years old. The world crazy different. Wasn't no internet. Wasn't no social media. Wasn't no this, that, and the third. Wasn't popping like that. Anyway, it's hard for me to look at spending mad years in jail, not like a waste of time. But rationally speaking, going to jail can be a way of saving your life, because maybe even though you took a life, you may have been in danger of having yours taken. And making it through jail with your life is not a guaranteed thing that's going to happen for you. Now, sure, I've known people with the jail and they said it ain't as bad as people be saying, with all the rape and all of that. Not that it don't happen, but that only happened to punks and, motherfuckers like that. It ain't like that. But nonetheless, in their older years, in their wisdom, they may be able to look at being in prison as a way that they were able to improve themselves. And maybe they feel like they are experiencing a renaissance coming out. So we're going to talk about it. Added up to be a big waste of time and maybe even money. Added up to a waste of time and money, yo. Mia Cunningham was good. How you feeling? My good to see me some you. And my man Jay Sloan. Wisdom. Wisdom is all up in the house. And I see y'all talking. I can't read y'all comments yet, but we're going to get to it. I need y'all to do me one little solid. I need y'all to hit that like button. We're going to be together for a minute and we're going to have this good talk. I can guarantee you one thing, won't be a waste of time, that's yo, we gonna have this talk, so get ready, and I say, are you ready, Oh, do you know so? Yo, I was talking to so-and-so, and they was telling me about so-and-so. So I said, what the fuck? So. Yeah, get poppin', baby. So. Ah, so. You got me, you make me so. Flow with me, baby. I said, so. You make me so. You make me so. You make me so. Get this hardware out of the way, man. Let's go ahead and have this talk. Let's have this conversation, my peoples. Daily Go Getimism show all up in your area. I'm your host on 752, aka Omar with the rrrr. And if you can't say Omar with the rrrr, well, then you just say Omar with the R. So we're talking about it added up all to be a big waste of time and maybe some money. I need to know from y'all, what's the biggest waste of time in your most recent history or your total history, your total life history? And what's the most money that you have ever fucked up? Because sometimes you can waste your money and your time. Like, yo, I paid for everything with Shorty. She had kids. I paid for her. I paid for the kids. I paid the rent. I paid the car. I paid the shopping. I paid the back to school. I paid the recreation. I paid the vacation. I paid for the food. I was giving her more money for food than food stamps. And she was getting food stamps. She had a baby by another nigga. Ooh, shit. She had a baby by another nigga. What you say? Yeah. And the kids shitted on me. I could understand the mom going rogue. I could understand the mom going rogue. But when Lil Naeem acting like I ain't come through with the PlayStation 5. Like I ain't pay for the Jordans. Like he could read before I you know what I mean? Before I got him right. He couldn't read. He couldn't write. He couldn't get right because he couldn't read. Yeah, I mean, I'm ready to take the knowledge of reading back from this little nigga. I know it ain't right. And I know I can't do it, which is mainly the reason I'm gonna say it. I'm ready. I wish I could take back his ability to read, write, and do arithmetic, because he couldn't do that shit before I came through. I'm off his mom right now. Motherfucker. I ought to conjugate a verb on your punk ass. Motherfucker, I will interject. I will fragment a sentence on your... He went to jail and got a fragmented sentence. The judge handed down a fragmented sentence on this motherfucker. But all right. Was it a waste of time? All right. You know what I mean? It's cool, son. I'm gonna eat that. Yeah, you know what I mean? You know, I'm gonna be a man about it. You know how it go. You know what I mean? As a man, I understand everything ain't always gonna go my way. You know what I mean? I can't get the money back. It's cool. It ain't about the money. It ain't about the money, but see, I got this heart. And that shit beat. You know what I mean? I don't mind you abusing my bank account. But this thing right here, this thing used to beat for y'all. But it's cool now. And the daughter, she was playing with Tonka trucks when I first came through. I like, why your 3-year-old daughter playing with taco trucks and shit? Playing with taco trucks and Hot Wheel cars and all. I mean, who ever heard of an 8-year-old girl refusing to wear a dress? You wear whatever the fuck we put her in. Put you into. The fuck? All right, it's all good. That's all love, baby. I ain't gonna worry about it. I ain't gonna worry about it because yeah, I lost a lot of money in the game. Yeah. I mean, chipped away at the heart. Chip, chip. But it's all wood, baby. Grab this chair over here. We're gonna have this talk. Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show, y'all. Welcome to the motherfucking Daily Go Getimism Show. It's good. How y'all living out there? How my people's feeling? We good? Levels is good. Levels is good. Levels is good. All right, y'all. So we talking about it added up to be a waste of time and maybe some money. Let me see what y'all talking about. Well, we talking about. Let me see. Mia says, I think everyone reflects at some point on in time on what they feel like their life may have been if. Man, sometimes some people can't get past that shit. They can't get past it. And Wisdom says, good morning, son. At any time we spend on people, we don't truly love is time wasted. The best way to show love is by giving our time to those who matter. Time is more precious than money or anything. Use wisely. But that's the thing. Sometimes when you're in the thick of giving your time openly or whatever, you think that you're spending your time on somebody who deserves it or something that's good. You don't really realize how bad it is until the whole shit goes down. But that's when you have to have your resolve about you, man, because you can't start looking at every disappointment like it was a waste of time. But there may be a time when that's the thing that grounded us. It may have been the thing that kept our perspective in perspective. So I get it. Mia says things you put your time, money, and heart into, you want to feel like you're getting big returns on your investment. Open up you a CD account with a high yield if you want a return on your investments. This ain't a money market type of situation. However, I heard that commodities are doing its thing right now. Wow. The market is unstable because the orange man is on some bullshit. But he's breaking records at the same goddamn time. As long as the tariffs keep... All right. Okay. Mia, you see? This dance is on and on and on. Dance until your breath is gone. Right. Jason says, for most people, prison is about the biggest waste of time they could have. Very few take enough advantage of the time to make it worthwhile. Listen, I think it would be hard for me to look at prison as a good thing, because all I would be wanting to do is go home. But I know that you make adjustments in a lot of different ways. Now, I've known people who went to prison, got they GED, went into college classes and got their college degree in jail. So, they really made something out of it. Like, that term jailhouse lawyer, some people like literally are that. You might not be a jailhouse attorney, but you are literally a jailhouse lawyer. At the very least, you should, learn about the laws dealing with your case. Danielle Berry Sports Highlights. Happy Monday. Hey, happy Monday. Happy Power Monday to you. Happy Power Monday. Jason says, this is a whole short right here. Yeah, we're going to chop that later. We can chop it later. Me talking to Wisdom says, spending that quality time with your youngins will guarantee you'll definitely have them longer than 20 years. Mine are grown, and we spend plenty of quality time together. They'll always need. I hear that. Just you appreciate the time spent with you. Where she says anything you can learn, the lesson you weren't meant to learn is not a waste. We may not be able to see it at the moment, but once the smoke clears, hopefully you'll understand the lesson meant for you. Hopefully. Jason says, you just did a straight improv bit. That's what's up. We working, man. We working. Says, we can hear you. Levels are great. By the way, that's a dope sweater. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. It got this little sweater. Yeah, man. John got delivered today. I was like, yo, fuck what I was about to wear. Throw the sweater over there. I like the sweater. When I saw it, I was like, hold on. I'm about to go find the cousins to the sweater. We gonna start a family. All right. So, when I think about, see, I've never really looked at most experiences in my life as a waste of time, even the ones that didn't work out. I wouldn't allow myself to think that way because I'm like, this might have been because of my exposure to my pop. He didn't really he didn't talk in a defeatist way. Like, he didn't talk about wasting time and stuff like that. He was like, listen, the time is going to come whether you do this or whether you do that. Now, you have to decide how you're going to fill the time in because it's going to pass. It won't stay here in this moment. So what are you going to do about this moment starting off, and then what you going to do later on? Plan your work and work your plan, dude. Plan your work and work your plan. So, okay. So now I've been disappointed a lot of times. I've been disappointed plenty and many times, but I never wanted to look at it as a waste of time because I don't know. For me, I'm not gonna lie, that be sound like a bitch, and I don't be wanting to sound like a little old bitch. I don't think it's. I guess a lot of the cats that I grew up around didn't really complain a whole lot. You know what I mean? Maybe their complaints was legit. Like, I can't really point out a whole bunch of people that I grew up with or even grew with as an adult into real adulthood. I can't think of a whole lot of them that talk like that. You know what I mean? They was go-getters. They was doing anything. Whether they had it right now or whether they took a hit here, fall there, whatever, they were pretty positive. And it could be maybe we were silently competing against each other. And maybe that's why we didn't want to hear each other, complain a lot, but we didn't. We didn't complain a whole lot. So maybe because I hadn't learned that was going to be the way that any problems were going to get solved, maybe that's just why I didn't take that route. But as I think about what my greatest disappointment may have been or wasted time, like, okay, somebody else may look at like all of those years I spent doing stand-up comedy, and I never blew up. I never, I'm not a household name. I'm not a national comedian. I didn't get on any major tours. I didn't get the bag like some cats that's stuck in there. I will never look at it as a waste of time because I had a lot of fun and I learned a lot. I learned a lot about people. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about showbiz. You don't have to blow up in the business to learn how showbiz works. You do not have to. You take your bumps and bruises while you paying your dues. And I paid a lot of them. And one of the reasons that I would never be able to look at it as a waste of time is because I spent my time. I honed my craft. I got good. You know what I'm saying? I took the cheers, the silence, and sometimes the boos. But I learned. I learned about timing. I learned about speaking in front of people and getting comfortable doing that. And it's not an easy thing to do. So there were a lot of fringe things on the fringes that were very beneficial to me. Real shit. And I feel the same way about doing this. Somebody that I know, I'm sure, looks at it like, why is he doing that every day? Every day? Come on, man. You ain't get money yet? You ain't Math Hoffa? You ain't $1 million worth of game? You ain't Drink Champs? Why you don't have no guests on your show? I get it. I do. I get it. I get it. I do. The thing is, how could this be a waste of time when it's something that I love? How? I love this more than comedy. The comedy was for the laughs. We doing the knowledge here. That shit turns me on. We doing the knowledge. When I did comedy, I was trying to do the knowledge too, and I've realized the limitations on it. Like, unless I'm out here trying to be like a straight Paul Mooney, a straight Paul Mooney. If you know, you know. And Paul Mooney had to build himself to where he had gotten in order to be able to speak in the manner that he spoke. Or New Cat didn't nobody come out for that. They came out for silly laughs. They came out, they didn't come out for the cerebral shit. So they'll accept the cerebral laughs from a national comedian. They wasn't going to accept that from somebody starting out. So, no, it's not. It's definitely way far from a waste of time for me because, y'all reinforce to me that it's not a waste of time. I'm like, well, somebody likes this shit. Sure, I want it to be thousands and millions, but the shit that we talk about for real. I mean, you really think about the topics that we cover. You think that if I had like, I don't know, 1 million, 500,000 or 1 million subscribers, you think that we would still be able to have the same essence, the same flow, the same kind of raw authenticity? This shit would get, once the money start coming in, this shit get watered down. Because the advertisers want a certain thing. They're like, well, look, we just need you to, look, we got a bag for you. We got a big bag for you, but this is what I need you to do. Next thing you know, I'm on here talking about cigarettes. All right. Jason says, exactly. If you love it, it's not a waste of time. Well, unless you love hard drugs, of course. Do you love the drugs or do you love the high? Sometimes once you sober up, you got to decide which one it's going to be. William says, you have learned a lot because you truly loved a show, not for the money or love. That's true. He says, that's courageous as hell to be able to stand up in front of people and attempt to make them laugh, even when folks are booing. But they didn't boo first. No, I've been on some stages where maybe the last guys who went on already got the boo birds in. You know what I'm saying? So, and I've been able to turn boos around. He says, no, things wouldn't be how you want them. You'll be pushing someone someone else's agenda. I mean, it happens the way it happens. It happens the way it happens. But nonetheless, spending your time, wasting your time, you have to. I don't know about y'all, but one thing that irks the shit out of me is when I hear people talking about a college education being a waste of time and money. I'm like, come on, damn, this is where we are? I don't know. I hate when I hear that. I hate that. What up, Jeff Sprayberry? What's good? I hate when I hear people say that shit. And at first it was only the people who didn't go to college who was saying that mainly. Now I know people who went to college. You got a bachelor's and a master's and you saying it was a waste of time because you had to pay for it? That's like saying having a house or an apartment is a waste of time because you got to pay rent. You may be looking at it like it's a waste of money because you feel like you should own instead of rent. So go ahead and save up your money and own. Buy something. But I mean, education ain't totally free. You pay for an education every day, voluntarily and involuntarily. Like the lessons that you learn a lot of times cost you some money. Like when you're learning the way that a system works. You paying your taxes. You paying whatever fees that are associated. You're paying your revolving accounts, your bills. And you're observing things. You're finding out how people are, how the money works, how the game go. It ain't free. So you mean to tell me that just because you're not making a 6-figure salary at your job, that the 4 years or 6 years that you spent in college was a waste of time and money? Damn, man. Damn, son. Well, I rebuke that notion in the name of Fat Joe. Sandy Shaw. She says, I know, right? If college was easy, everybody would do it. I have an AA, a BA, an MPA, and now pursuing a BA in Spanish. I don't see how learning more, improving your mind, I don't see how that can be a waste of time. I get it that we're so finance driven nowadays. We're so capital driven nowadays that we think that anything that doesn't make a lot of money is a waste of time. Meanwhile, see, that wouldn't be so bad if the other side of that is that anything that makes money or makes a lot of money is the opposite of a waste of time. Is justifiable, regardless of how toxic it may be, regardless of how dangerous it may be, regardless of how detrimental to the people involved it may be. And we do that shit. And we've been conditioned to do it. So doing something like going to school so you can learn how to think. Because when I was growing up, see, I graduated high school in 1988. Back then, we were taught that you go to college to learn how to think, not to go make money. Because if you want to make money, there are plenty of high school dropouts who make money and people who only have high school diplomas who make a lot of money. That has a lot to do with your business acumen and your energy and drive, your marketing schemes, things like that. If your main objective is money, but if you want to learn how to lead people, if you want to learn how to work yourself out of negative situations, regardless of what the trouble may be, then college is a good thing. It's just like people who are good at math. People who are good at math understand the process of things. Because when you get into advanced math, you can't just come up with an answer like 5 times 5 equals 25. You have to learn how to do the equation step by step in the correct way, whether you start from the front or whether you start from the back. You learn the process. And that builds pathways in your mind, and that will allow you to be able to think more like a chess player, regardless of whether you are in a verbal altercation with somebody or any type of other, head-to-head challenge. Because it's not really about all of that. Yeah. So I don't like it when people suggest that going to school and paying your tuition is a waste of money, is a waste of time and or money. But speaking of, something really good happened to me as soon as I woke up this morning. Like when I gave myself a stretch, a morning yawning, I went and checked my I have a Capital One credit card, what's in your wallet, you know what I mean? And on the app for the credit card, they offer you a free credit score. And they give you your credit information, your history, your usage. You understand what I'm talking about. Well, when I opened up the app and I saw the score, two of my student loans had been charged off, removed from my credit report, shot my credit, my score up. Shot my score up 81 points. I was like, $81 points? So my shit close to 800 now. I was like, yeah, that was news that I could use. I was like, 81 points? Two parts of the loans that I had defaulted on that was already charged off, but they were still sitting on my credit report. Well, evidently the 7 years is up. So now they it's all for there. It's all for there. Now my credit has been really good, but when you still have negative history entries on your credit report, and you even though you may be paying off things, credit cards, whatever is on your credit report, that shit don't be moving. It might go up to 1 point 1 month, 3 points another month, shit like that. But you got to get negative entries charged off. You got to get them removed from your account, and your shit will, as long as you keep paying your bills and keep your credit usage under 30%, your shit will be in the 8s. We don't know nothing about that because we don't understand how those negative credit entries, even though they're old, are sandbagging and anchoring down our credit scores. Just a little something. That was news. That was definitely news I was using. Which says we also come here sometimes even during work because we love these topics. They teach us life lessons that money can't give. Well, we talk about a lot of psychological shit here. And to me, that's important You get your mind right, man, you can do anything. Seriously. That's the way I see it. But I appreciate y'all, for real, for real. Make sure y'all hit the like button up. Sandy says, it's not. It expands my mind and world. I turned 68 on the 16th. Says now retired and lifelong learner. That's what's up. You're a Scorpio. I know you're gonna do something with that knowledge. I hope they all live through it. You know, the Scorpio tail be stinging. It's deadly scorpion. But you might be the eagle. You might be the eagle. You might be the eagle. Appreciate y'all. So I think that me and Jason agree that jail, prison time, is undisputedly a waste of time, right? Jail, no go. Jail is a no positive thing. But, I know, you can derive some wisdom any way you extract it. You have to be the positive person. So I get that. Shout out to all my brothers on lockdown. Stay strong. Stay strong. Stay strong. Stay strong. Now, when it comes to how many of y'all think that being nice to people is a waste of time? I've heard people say that. I understand how it can sound ridiculous, but I've heard people say it. Being nice to people is a waste of time because all they're going to do is use your kindness for weakness. All they're going to do is try to play you. All they're going to do is try to gaslight you, make you think that you're not doing something for them. You're really doing it for yourself, or, how many, I'm curious to know, does anybody in here feel like being nice to people is a waste of time? How about helping people? Sandy says jail is a capitalist commodity. The privatized prison certainly is. Mia says it depends on the person you are membrane kind to. Oh, being kind to. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Jason says, I never think that being nice to people is a waste of time. In my experience, it usually works out better than not being nice, being as nice as is appropriate. Same with helping people. What's that? Sister P silly? Or is the P silent and it's just Sister Silly? Let me know. And Sister Silly or Siley says, kindness and helping others in community is a reflection and projection of higher spirit and true connection. You over there dropping bars. Kindness and helping others in our community is a reflection, a projection, higher spirit and true connection. Yo, love and affection. I like it. Mia says, I like helping people. It does something good for me when I help someone. It's just silly. Ha ha. Okay, cool. Listen, I try to get it right. I'd rather get it right. But yeah. Some people think that being nice to people is a waste of time because they've been burnt by other people or somebody. Sometimes it only takes one person to change somebody's perspective on a whole situation. When they say one bad apple don't spoil the bunch, they don't really understand that it sometimes does. Sometimes one bad experience with one, like how many times, and I hate to say this, how many times does it take for you to be assaulted by somebody, sexually assaulted by somebody, for you to start looking at everybody sideways? I can't think of a single person that I know that wants that to happen to them again, ever. And I can't think of too many people who won't do whatever it takes to make sure that it doesn't happen again. So I understand how some people reach the conclusion that being nice to people, well, would they say nice guys finish last? I've heard people say that a lot. That old cliche, I've heard it. Mia says, what another did has no reflection on what I'm willing to do for another. And Sandy says, how about this? I am polite and courteous. When I worked, oh, I think you got some more coming. You got some, no, okay, wait, all right. Mia says, now bringing SA into the conversation will have you looking at everyone with a side eye. Jason says, that's real shit. Trauma can have the effect of coloring how people view people in general. Yeah. I mean, listen, man. How many of y'all have seen a rescue animal? Rescue animals, man, they be shaking like leaves, peeing on themselves and not, can't relax, can't trust, can't do shit. Scared to death. Somebody fucked them up. Well, there are a lot of people who resemble the emotions of a rescue animal. So we got a lot of rescue Homo sapiens, rescue human beings out here. Yeah. Me says you have to learn all over again to trust and love. That's true. That's true. But I'm only, saying all of that to say, we'll give an example of how people come to the conclusion of nice guys finish last. You know what I mean? Imagine being a man, you making good money. You far from stingy, willing to share, willing to break bread, willing to look out for the cookout. And so you do that, you know what I mean? Not only that, but you fashion yourself to be a good guy. These chicks out here take your heart and put that shit in the meat grinder. Got your heart all in the vice and shit. And it don't take a lot of girls to do that before you start saying like, okay, that's going to be your worldview of how the game go. So even if you don't take the position that all bitches ain't shit, you might be thinking like, yo, these women out here don't really want no good man. They don't really want a good man. They don't really want no good man. They don't really want a good man. Yo, I was a good man. I would always take the stand and raise my right hand and I say, and I testify, and I won't lie. I think this one is the kind of product you should buy. And I'm going to make sure that I always promote. I'm going to cross over to the castle using a moat. And I make sure that I always build a bridge and make sure that at Ridge and Gerard, you know what I'm talking about, it gets hard and motherfuckers always trying to pull out my card. But I know that for sure that I'ma always be down and go for more. So this I can trust just like the eye on the pyramid, and I'm on bust my guns, and nobody who didn't deserve to have a couple of rounds of got one. Keep clicking and licking, and I'm trying to make sure that I find a hottie is sticking, and I'm gonna make sure that the ass was fat, titties was soft, and I'm about to go off like Bismarck, Bismarck. The Bismarck, Bismarck, do my dance. The Bismarck, Bismarck. The Bismarck, 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 Bismarck. All right. Sadie said that is funny and a result of your comic mind. Sister Silly says true, but we also have support of others and cognitive ability to work through that. It's ultimately a choice to hold on to those things and use that as a forever shield to connection. Word. Sister Silly says, as far as comparing us to rescue animals, I mean, I mean, shit, there are some. I mean, it says, y'all have a good night. I gotta get some sleep. Peace and love, family. Well, thanks for coming through. I appreciate you. Salute to you. Have a good one. I mean, it says that goes for men and women having your heart broken or have a fort built around your heart, and will take a lot for the fort to come down. Come down, MC Rain. Come down. I mean, Snoop and them used to say bitches ain't nothing but hoes and tricks, but they didn't mean it. But you could best believe that somebody who was singing they shit did mean it. Stephanie says, Lord knows you love to talk. What the fuck you think what the fuck you think you gonna do on a damn talk show? I mean, should we take the camera outside and just let you see the nighttime? Let you see some possums and raccoons walk by? You know, trash day is tomorrow. You can see them tear the trash out. I just don't understand. I just don't understand. And I don't believe that you're a woman. No, I mean, I'm not even trying to diss. I just don't. It's just hard for me to believe that women come through and troll. I do not believe that men will come through disguised as women on a profile so they can troll. My experience tells me that. It shows me that. She's a false flag, this I know, cause the Bible tells me so. But it's all good. It's all good. You can hang out. You can hang out. You know, I ain't mad at it. This is what it's here for. This is what it's all about. Besides doing the hokey pokey. But yeah. People say that being nice to people is a waste of time. People say, how about this one, y'all? You know how some women say that you should never treat your man, or should I say, you should never treat your boyfriend like a husband? Because why would you buy the cow when you get the milk for free? You know how it is, man. You know what I mean? I'm gonna pull a rabbit out of the hat continuously. But yeah, you know, a lot of women say, you know, you shouldn't there's certain things you shouldn't do for your boyfriend, because if you treat your boyfriend like your husband, then he may never choose you for his wife. And I understand what they're trying to say, I just totally disagree with it. And the reason that I disagree with it is because, well, there are a few reasons I disagree with that. One of the reasons that I disagree with it is because I believe that courtship, going with each other, is an audition for marriage. It's an audition for marriage. I'm wondering what kind of man would want to marry a woman that continuously tells him that she's not going to do certain things for him. Will he know that she's just holding out because they're not married? And like, what would you not do for your man until you marry him? Like, hopefully it's not sex or certain aspects of sex. Like, oh yeah, my man can pound and blow my back out all day, but he ain't getting no head until he put a ring on it. I've actually heard people say this bullshit, but now in my mind, that's like being manipulative and using sex as a weapon, but I've heard people talk about it. The only things I can think about, or should I say, the only things that I can think of that a woman probably shouldn't do for her man until that man becomes her husband is enter into any financial contracts with that man. That's the only thing that I would actually co-sign holding out on. Like, no, do not co-sign a car for your boyfriend who you know is irresponsible with the note. I don't think you should do that. I wouldn't advise you to do that with your husband either. But hopefully you vetted your husband well enough to know that he wouldn't leave you out there high and dry with a contract that you put your name on in order for him to have something. So like putting a down payment on a house or co-signing for a loan or whatever, I don't think that a woman should do that for a man that she's only dating or a man that she's only going with. Other than that, what you mean you ain't gonna cook for your man? What? Like, what the fuck? Who you, Betty Crocker? You Julia Childs? Like, is your food so good that only a husband should be able to get this? Like, yo, my cooking is so good, I can make my man a peanut butter and jelly sandwich where he'll finish the sandwich and be like, God damn, what'd you do, put butter in it? Damn, baby. Other than that, you wouldn't cook and or clean for your man until he put a ring on it? Fellas, you gonna trust a woman to all of a sudden start being performing the wifely duties that she's supposed to only after you marry her? Not a day before? You're better than me if you believe that. Plus, I got a Brooklyn Bridge for $5. I'll let you have it. Stephanie says, when you're doing it God's way, you shouldn't have sex until you are married. All right. All right, Mary and Joseph, that's cool. It says when dating for a lifelong relationship or marriage, you have to vet that person and see them in every aspect, financially, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. You need to see that person when they are angry and how they handle that situation. See how they react when they are disappointed, when they are riding high. Jason says, nah, I gotta audition the whole performance. Ain't no gladly pay you on Tuesday for a wedding ring today. Facts. Facts. But I've heard this. And you've heard this. And we've all heard this. Why buy the cow when you get the milk for free? Well, what is the milk? Like sex is your milk? Ain't no man waiting until he get married and get no pussy. Okay, there are men who do it. But I'm gonna tell you right now, men, you ain't gonna win that way. You ain't test drove the pussy yet. You gonna marry now. Then when the shit is trash, you gonna be like, well, that's not what marriage is all about, though. You know, we building a family. Fuck you talking about? You 55 years old. Build no family. Shit. Your grandkids are building families right now. Not you. Not you. Sandy says, let angry people show out. And that is when you get all of the truth. Let them talk. Waste of time. I'll tell you a waste of time that I consider to be equivalent to being in jail for years and years. Being on drugs for years and years. You lose time with a substance addiction that you can never reclaim or recover. You can actually get your life back after being in jail for a while. But being on drugs, you forget things, you lose things. You actually lose mental capacity in many instances. So for me, that is a waste of time. And it's not worth it. Not to me, it's not. Mia says, I heard a story of a woman that wanted to wait until marriage to have sex, and her husband agreed, and they had the best courtship until the wedding night, and she found out why he didn't mind waiting. That is not the way I wanted that story to end. He never told her that he had ED and couldn't get it up. He never shared that with her. I want to know, have you ever seen the rain? I want to know, have you ever seen the rain coming down on sunny days? Ah! Man, that's a fucked up story. So I bet you one thing. I bet you he was nice to her than a motherfucker. We can just hold hands, baby. We can hold hands. Listen, we can do everything except fuck. The dick is dead. The dick is dead. It got killed like the duck on the first Nintendo console. Remember Nintendo used to have a gun? Duck Hunt. It dead like the duck on Duck Hunt on the first Nintendo. Jason said, man, that was a hard lesson for her. My nigga. Me said, Jason, it wasn't hard. I don't want to start coughing. Jason says, in all seriousness, I know of a similar situation, but the one I knew about turned out the husband was gay. Like so gay, he couldn't even pretend he wanted to have sex with a woman. God, what did he marry her? What they get? I want to know, have you ever seen the rain? I want to know, have you ever seen the rain coming down on sunny days? Now, I would think that if you was dating somebody and seriously courting somebody, because the actual definition of courting is seeing somebody with the intention of marrying them someday. So I would think that if you're not having sex, as a couple, you have a chance to talk about everything. Everything. You have a chance to cover all bases without the threat of bodily fluids coming in and messing up the way that you think about something. So I don't know if I even have too much sympathy for anybody in that situation, because I'm like, I know me. If I was abstinent, or we was waiting to get married before we had sex, me being me, I know I'll be like, yo, can I at least see it first? Make sure ain't nothing going on with it that, might be unsightly or beyond reproach. And then I'll probably ask something like, is oral sex like sex to you? Like real sex? I mean, because the Catholics, they say it's not really sex unless the penis goes into the vagina. They say all other forms of sex is just auxiliary, accessory sex. It says, I can't compete with someone that wants the same thing as me. We both checking men out, even though I've heard of lavender marriages. Not for me, though. Lavender marriages. I don't even want to think about what that is, even though I think I might know. Princess Lioness says, hello, Omar. Hello, everyone. Omar, you still up? Yeah. I'm hanging in there. Hanging on in. Mia says, don't make me laugh. Y'all gotta chill. Please chill. Sentry, with your bitch ass. I said, Sentry, with your bitch ass. Jason says, don't want the blue waffle surprise, son. Yo, you ain't never to lie. Facts upon facts. Facts stacking. Stack the facts. Make sure y'all hit the like. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Y'all share the show. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. This is the Daily Go Getimism Show. I am your host, Sun752. Feeling like a real man should. And tonight we are talking about. It added up to be a waste of time. It's time. Do-do, do-do-do-do. Do-do, do-do-do-do. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. Okay, all right. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you could go a year or years without having sex with somebody that you're physically attracted to. Something is, I don't know. You know what I mean? Personally, I wouldn't go for it. She got to give up some ass in 3 weeks or 21 days, whichever one comes first. 3 weeks or 21 days. And these are calendar days. We're not doing work days. We're not doing work days. No. No. Mia says, why not a month? That's too long. It only takes, from what I understand, it only takes a woman a few minutes to know whether she really wants to have sex with a man. Now, whether she has sex with him fast is a whole nother story. But I heard it only takes like 90 minutes to know, for her to know, like, yo, he's about to get some cookies tonight. Vanilla with cream. Jason says a year. Yeah, that's not going to happen. I'm 4 weeks or 28 days, more or less. Yeah, I got 21 days or 3 weeks. See, my late great dad, he always preached to me that it takes 21 days to form a habit and 21 days to break a habit. 21 days consistency. So in 21 days, we should know if we have a habit of each other or not. We don't have to be addicted to each other, but we should have a habit of each other. Huh? I got a habit of you. You got a habit of me. Me, I'm eating the rest of the shit, my smoothie that fell to the bottom. She is very green today. So what it was, that was a bunch of black seed and basically the herbal supplements that I use. But that was definitely black seed. Now I can't get that taste out of my mouth. But it's all good though. It's all good though. Jason says, I'm joking. I don't have a limit, but it's never actually come to that. So I don't know what my limit may be. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I got 3 weeks of 21 days. Like, soon as we exchange numbers, then I turn that hourglass over. She got 21 days on it, baby. This is no time to play Let's Wait a While by Janet Jackson. There's something I have to tell you. There's something I think that you should know. It's not that you know? I didn't really know not to let all my feelings show. To save some for later, so our love will be greater. You said that you always be there. Remember, I said the same thing too. You don't have to be frightened of my love, because I never give up on you. Let's wait a while before it's too late. You know. Anyway, what up, Wes? What's good? Mia says, black seed, strong black seed. Woo, yeah. So what happens if she wants to give it up on the 22nd or 23rd day? Well, the 21st, the first day to the 21st day is basically the period that I will invest. If she gives it up on the 22nd and 23rd day, I'll still be there, but it won't be because I was waiting after that. See, the 21st days that's the time limit that I'm willing to dedicate waiting time to this. Like, after the 21st day, I already got my, graduation cap and gown and tassel and everything. I didn't put it to the side. You take the tassel. And that was my sex tassel. Got on my cap and gown. You know. Graduate. You graduated to the queen of king size bed. Jason says, I want it to be more like any time in any place. Let's keep it Janet Jackson. I'm about to go Velvet Rope Boy, y'all. We go deep and we don't get no sleep because we be up all night until the early light. So, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Well, let me see here. Let me go to the poll. We got 20 votes. All right, let's see what y'all talking about. Which of these is the biggest waste of time as far as you're concerned? Dating for years and no marriage. Damn, this is well balanced. 20%. Paying for something you can't have. 20%. 25% says supporting ungrateful bums. Woo-wee. And being in prison for years and years. 35%. I'm glad that we believe that incarceration is a waste of time. I would hate to be in the company of people who think it's cool to go to jail. I would hate to be in the company of a bunch of people who think it's cool to go to jail. Mia says, now we go deep. We go deep was the shit. Yes, it was. And so was my need. My need. That was my shit. Okay. Jason says, think of how many people waste years in addiction and prison. You right, though. You ain't nothing but right. You could get a job being right. Being right becomes you. You look good in being right. Being right is your color. Yeah. Yeah, being right, that's in your DNA. I bet your daddy was right. I bet your mama was right. I bet your slave grandparents, I bet you they was right too. Somebody said, yo, this slavery shit is some bullshit. He was like, yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Alex Haley plagiarized Roots. Like, what the hell? So Kunta Kinte wasn't his real grandfather? Are you kidding me? Yeah. Wasting years being addicted. It's nightmarish. I don't know. You know how they say things take years off your life. I won't go as far as to say that because shit. There's so many things you could say that take years off your life. But the truth is, the year when it's time for you to go, you out. Jason said, wait a minute. He said, Shrink asked me, would you rather be right or be happy? I said, being right makes me happy. Now I'm looking forward to, yeah. See, y'all gotta understand, I still got this cough, so I don't really want to laugh because that shit gonna punch me in the superior vena cava. All right. Mia says, I want to be both. And she also said, my dad used to say, you can be right and dead, be smart. That brother was wise. He was wise. Yeah. We're gonna go right to this point. We're gonna do these birthday shout outs, and then we're gonna be out. So y'all gotta understand, you know what I mean? Weekends, I ain't get a lot of sleep. And when I'm at my mama crib, I'll hardly get any. So, you know, I think we did good here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do these birthday shout outs, and then we're going to get back. All right. So we have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious November 24th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special because they are special because they are SPECIAL. We get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. We get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. We get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box. Vanessa Hassett, and also my girl from Liberia, Sunny Way, and also Virginia Smith, Terry Garcia Horn, Tanya Davis, Erica N. Kennard Allen, my girl. Are you 50 today? Is that so? All right. And also Kathy Horn, and last but not least, Michelle Robinson. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all a good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious November 24th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, the rock out. Rock on and do the damn rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, add it up to be a waste of time. What can really be a waste of time when you know that you spent time there? Sometimes we harp so much upon how things ended that we forgot that we was taking a whole ride. We was on a whole roller coaster, complete with the whole loop-de-loop, the tall incline and drop and everything. We had us a good time. But none of that seems to matter to us, many of us, when the end either comes or doesn't go the way that we sketched it up. But you know, we got to grow up. We have to be adults in any situation that we're in. And that means that sometimes things aren't going to work out the way that you sketched them. They're not going to go the way that you designed them. And they're definitely not going to act the way you wanted them to. So we can't always write off each experiment that we don't persevere in as a waste of time. We can do that personally, but I would say that professionally, that has no welcome. And I would say that personally, we can always do a little bit better. We can always improve on something that we had done before. So I'm going to say that we should work on all of that. Yeah, work on all that. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death, resuscitate y'all, and love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night, 2 a.m. in the morning. 2 a.m. in the morning. 2 a.m. in the morning. 2 a.m., y'all. You know how it go. But I'm going to tell you these. Y'all have a good night. No exceptions. Hit the like button, share the show, Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Peace.